Hey coach, how you doing? So today I want to talk a little bit about origin stories as coaches. Why is it important for you to be in touch with why you started and how you started? So to exemplify the point, I'll tell you about how I started. 2014, I finished university, graduated with a degree in biology. I hated it. It was the most boring thing I've ever done. That's a video for another time. I was so sick of doing the mundane BS, and for about 9 months I was unemployed trying to get a job. Then I ended up working at a bank. It was, again, really boring. I would go to work every day and get high before work, so I'd sit at my desk thinking of weed like this. I didn't want to be there. And after a while, I usually get fired from jobs after about 3 months. The 3-month mark is coming up. My manager says to me, Sachin, why are you here? You've got problems with all the staff. You're the last one here and you're the last one here and the first one to leave. And you sleep at your desk. Why are you even here? And I was like, hey, good point. I don't know. And then I quit. And after I quit this job, I'd been smoking weed and drinking alcohol every single day. So I realized there's something wrong with me. I'm going to go on my own healing journey. Started watching videos on YouTube, started watching things about psychology, and just started to get a bit of an insight into why I was dysfunctional. So at that point, I just made this big decision to start from scratch. I cut off all of my friends and family except for my parents and my brother. I cut off everything, no relationships, no friends, no TV, no movies, no nothing. Just inner work. I don't recommend this for anyone, but this is what I did. Because my situation was quite different to some other people's. I'd been trying to kill myself for a long time, and I kept repressing things and making myself forget about it. When I stopped drinking, all these memories came back. It was hard to deal with. Tried to go to therapy, nothing helpful there for me. Maybe I found the wrong therapist, I don't know. Then in 2016, after about a year of being in this isolation journey, I was like, I've learned quite a lot. I think I'm ready to start sharing it. Not to become a coach, just to share it and to help me consolidate my own knowledge. So I started a blog, people started resonating with it, just posted 300, 500 words every day. And one person asked me, are you a life coach? And I thought, I've never heard, I don't understand what that thing is. Let me go and have a look into it. Found a course, studied my course. In part of the course, it was do 40 hours of practice coaching. Coached over 100 people for free in that year. All of my peers in my group, they were like, hey, how are you finding all these people to coach? I was like, dude, I just use social media. And that kind of led to where we are today, why I'm making these videos, helping you use social media. But back then, it was normal to me. So started having loads of conversations. At the end of the year, I'd coached over 100 people, and it was proper, it wasn't 20, 30 minutes. It was over an hour at least for all of them. And during this time, I took a big pay cut from the bank job I was working. I just worked admin, doing really silly menial work that anyone could do. And I just bought back my time to invest it into coaching and to working on myself. And then 2018, I was like, okay, look, I'm making the decision. I'm going to go full-time into this coaching thing, and I'm going to try and make it work. After a month of trying to make it work, I realized it was a lot harder than I thought. So I enlisted the services of another coach. We did an exchange. So I said to him, I have £300 in my bank account. What can we do for that? He said, nothing. I don't want to coach you in that way, but teach me about social media. I'll teach you about the business. We did that, signed up my first client at £2,000 for 3 months. Bang, I was off to the races, in my mind. And for the rest of that year, I had so many conversations and made so many mistakes in sales. I call it enrollment. My coach at the time called it sales. And I made a lot of mistakes, and I learned a lot. And at the end of 2018, I was making really a decent amount of money in my mind for then. I replaced my job incomes. I was making more than I was making at the bank. So that was pretty good. And then again, this thing about other coaches were asking me, how the hell do you have all these conversations? I would speak to, sometimes in that year, 2018, I had that hustle mentality of like, oh, I've got to do 16 hours a day. Sometimes I would actually coach people from like 12 to 18 hours a day, just actually coaching, not talking to people or anything, just coaching. And yeah, I don't think it served me, but I was telling people about it, and people were like, how the hell do you find these people to coach? So I just started sharing a few things that I was learning on social media. I just started giving it to people, and some of them were like, dude, can you teach me? So I taught a few people, they got some good results out of it, the word of mouth started, and I never wanted to coach other coaches. I never set out wanting to do it, but it kind of just happened, and I was like, you know what, cool, like I'll take it as it comes. And that's why for me it's really important for my own integrity to have my life coaching. So, okay, here's all the content I make on Spoon of Consciousness. That's all about personal development, life coaching. And then I have Superstar Branding Coach. This is all about helping you grow your coaching business. Because I don't want to be a marketer. I want to be a coach that shows you, hey, I've done this. Here's how you can do it now. That's my origins in a nutshell. There's obviously a lot more. But I think this is a really powerful thing that drives me. Is I don't want to work with everyone in the world. I couldn't if I wanted to. I want us to all have a really high tide so that all the ships raise with us. And for me to see that in the world, for me to see coaches creating impact in the world in a big way, and especially in a time where everyone needs it, I think now putting out these messages and these videos are really going to help that. So that's what my origin story, why it's important to me, is because, look, as I said, you can see both things that I do. It's not just, oh, this guy's good with Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, so that's why he's sharing it. I've been and built the coaching business, and it's still, like, I love life coaching. The business coaching, I just came along with it. I had a conversation with my mentor, Ankush, and he said he had a conversation with Steve where he was Steve Chandler, and he was a bit unsure about coaching other coaches, and Steve said to him, do they need help? He said, yeah. Can you help them? He said, yeah. And then Steve said, so what's your problem? And it really translated to me too. So that's where my origin stories are. I want to know what your origin stories are. And here's the reason why. When you can communicate effectively to a client why you do what you do, it's a big game changer. They start to see where you're coming from in a different way. Like me being coached by Siawash, by Ankush, this has helped me to get such a dramatic impact in my own life that I love telling people, hey, I've invested a lot in my own coaching and it's paid off in these ways. You know, when you can talk passionately about why you started, what you get out of your own coaching, where you're going next, what your vision is, that's what people are really excited to hear about. Because we're not the everyday Joe Schmo who just wants to sit, kick it and watch Netflix like, oh yeah, it would be nice. We're not doing that. We're coaches. We're taking action and we're creating massive impact in the world. We might be familiar with each other and say, yeah, Jonathan and I, whatever. But people who have no idea what coaching is, they're not used to meeting people like us. And that's really what I want to stress to you. It's really important to connect with your origin story so you can communicate it and tell people, and that might start off a great conversation for you, or it might completely turn them off and say, you're too much for me. Great, you know, we don't have to have any more communication. Drop your origin story in the comments here. I'm really interested to know what yours are. If you still, for some reason, haven't got the PDF that I'm giving out, send me just comment on here or send me a message directly and I'll send it to you. And have a great day.